juice box. Junkie juice box. Mother lover, you gon' love this. Graduated from a rebel to a revolutionary in my area, they love this. I'm a wreck it like I'm revving the engine.
So finally, I've got a long overdue video coming back out, and the reason for it is because I wanted to get an actual proper full day of eating it. I didn't want to just do another bullshit one that I'm just doing weekend foods, which isn't where I'm consistent, because bodybuilding and creating a good physique and making progress is all about consistency and what you're doing most of the time. So obviously the foods I eat through the week is what is actually making the most impact, instead of just what I occasionally eat on the weekends. So it's currently Wednesday night. Obviously I work at Jaguar Land Rover, I work full time, and I'm not going to whip out that camera while I'm at work. So I just thought I'd show you meal 1 and meal 2. Exactly what I have while I get it prepared. So, training day foods. This is the most I've ever eaten consistently. Currently I'm on 500 grams of carbs, so I've had to increase things. But this breakfast, believe it or not, I've had this breakfast every single work day, 5 days a week, since my competition prep back in 2016. Every single day of work I've been to. The amounts have changed slightly. So now 100 grams of oats going in there, 101 in there. And what I do with that is I just add water to it. On a rest day I will have some almond butter in there, but as the fats are a little bit lower, 100 grams of oats, I will then add 37 grams of instant whey pro, which goes in here. And like I've said before, make sure you weigh your whey protein out, because these aren't always very accurate. So 37 grams is exactly 1.5 servings, and that gives me 30 grams of protein. So 30 grams of protein in the oats. And another thing I always have is I have 50 grams of blueberries in my oats as well, but I ran out of blueberries this morning, so no blueberries tomorrow, unfortunately. So that is meal 1, that's breakfast, very plain and simple. And then we get on to lunch. So this is meal 2. Meal 1 I have at 6:45 or 6:30, and meal 2 I wait about 5 or 6 hours and have this at 12 o'clock. Again, this is a very consistent meal for me. I've had this every single lunchtime at work for God knows how long. But again, the amounts just change slightly. So what I've got here is I have 50 grams of avocado. I always have some tomatoes, whether it's cherry or normal. I have a big portion of green beans. I have 150 grams of mincemeat. I always chop that up with some onion. And then at the moment, what I'm trying to do is, I'm not having a lot. I've got a lot of fruit in my diet at the moment. So, like I normally have the blueberries and then these 2 pieces. So that's 3 portions of fruit already in my diet. I'm trying to make sure each week I'm adding fruits as well, because you want a wide variety of nutrients in your body. So I'm trying to stay on point with my fruits. And then I add another carb source. Normally I'd add like a pack of rice, but I haven't got any rice. So what I've been having this week on my training days is bagels. 1 bagel with quite a bit of jam on it works out to be about 60 or 70 grams of carbohydrates, and that's all I want, because a pack of rice is about 70 grams of carbs. So pretty plain and simple. I'll put the numbers up on the screen for both meals in a moment. But yeah, so we have lean whey protein, lots of good nutrients, some high quality fats in the avocado, carbohydrates to fuel the training, and that is meal 1 and 2.
Swim with the best of them, I can't deny I was chosen. Yeah, it's the miggity mac, milking the mic. I don't think I'm giving it back. Living unlimited winnings, that's a limited fact. I'm mastered this, ain't no coming after this. Resurrected from the dead like Lazarus.
I just gotta go off on it. I just know to put the sauce on it. I don't care about the cost on it. I just gotta get lost on it. I'm just trying to break loose. I'm about to let the fuse. I just need me a cup. I'ma pour me the juice. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice. I got the juice now.
So it is now post-workout time. Time for meal 3. Because I literally finish work and head straight to the gym, obviously I have to have something easy. So I've actually started tucking into my first bit of food already, because I literally took like a couple bites and I thought, shit. But anyway, first things first is this. So inside this little sandwich, I literally have 2 slices of small bread. I put a little bit of extra light mayo on there, put 2 rashers of turkey bacon, and I put a load of salt on there. And I also have protein bar. So that is one of the Tesco protein bars. Tesco Active, I'm sure you guys have seen me have those before. But that hasn't got the best quality protein, and it's only got about 20 grams in, so that's why I have the turkey bacon, because...
Me a cup, I'ma pour me the juice. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice now.
So just mixing up a little bit of BCAAs. Like I said before, literally just have this for the taste. When this is gone, I will just be getting a bit of cordial, a bit of squash. So it's time for another voiceover, and I've got the video playing here. I'm going to keep this on topic, so I'm not going to talk too much about the training. I'm going to make sure I get lots of talk about the nutrition. So at the start of the video I mentioned I've been, like, my breakfast and my lunch, they've been super consistent, like overly consistent since like 2016, and that is really good on a consistency basis. But that's not like bragging rights, because at the same time it's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but obviously changing your food slightly is good, because it's good to have a wide variety of nutrients in your body, and that's something I'm really trying to focus on at the moment, and definitely I think other people should be focusing on, because obviously I've been doing lots of learning on like gut health and everything, and about the importance of it. So in my diet now, I mentioned I'm trying to get loads of fruits in, trying to make sure I get different vegetables in each week and stuff like that. Because like 70 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut. Food that we're eating, for it to be used properly, you need to make sure it's like utilised properly in the body. So yeah, it's something really beneficial to make sure you're getting lots of fruit in your diet, like plant-based foods. I know us guys that like to have lots of protein in the diet, you hear about plant-based and it's like, forget about that. But definitely is something to think about. But yeah, I'm sure you can see my approach. The main things to focus on. A lot of people, I do like the Insta story things, and questions I get like, how do I include cereal in my diet? Well, the main thing is not to look at foods in isolation. That's something I don't do. You might have mentioned with my lunches, I said I normally have rice, but this week I'm having bagels, and that's purely just because they're 2 different carb sources. It doesn't really matter which ones, as long as, like, people worry about sugar, but you can't really be having too much sugar as long as you're within your kind of macros, do you know what I mean? So if you're having 200 or 300 gram of carbohydrates, you can't really be having, unless you're eating 600-700 gram of carbohydrates, then you can't really be having too much sugar. So focus on your overall calories, your protein intake, your carbohydrates, your fats, making sure you're getting good variety of all those different things, your fibre, your fruits, your nutrients, 2 or 3 portions of fruit each day, and all that good stuff. But yeah, food is in an awesome place at the minute, like 500 gram carbs at the minute, so I'm feeling really good. Like, but I'm quite lucky really, like I've put weight on quite quickly, quite easily. Like some people have to eat 4,000-5,000 calories to do it, but the good thing is, because I put weight on quite easily, digestion never really gets an issue for me. But I'm going to end the little voiceover here now. This was a 6 session, absolutely gassed. You know what it's like training in this summer heat. But anyway, back to the rest of the video.
Juice box, junkie juice box. Mother lover, you gon' love this. Graduated from a rebel to a revolutionary in my area, they love this. I'm a wreck it like I'm revving the engine. Heaven's ascension, every dimension, give me attention. Look at my soul, look at my heart, look at my hope. Got the world on my back, but I carry it though. Tell him God got my hand, I ain't letting it go. I came from the side of the ocean. Swim with the best of them, I can't deny I was chosen. Yeah, it's the Miggity Mac, milking the mic. I don't think I'm giving it back. Living unlimited winnings, that's a limited fact. I mastered this, ain't no coming after this. Resurrected from the dead like Lazarus.
I just gotta go off on it. I just know to put the sauce on it.
So we are back from training. Just had a sick session. It is so hot in the gym at the moment. Had such a good session. The sessions are absolutely battering us at the moment. Did really good on the hack squat. To be honest, every exercise was great. So very pleased with that. The last 2 times I've finished legs, I've actually come out and I've started getting dizzy at the end and I've had like a headache. But I don't really know what it is. Obviously I had a headache, but it's not really ideal to be honest. But yeah, I don't know if you can see, I'm not really like much of a sweater. But this t-shirt was absolutely drenched through. It's dried off a little bit now, which I'm pretty proud of. That got that like, the whole t-shirt was literally drenched through. It's dried off a bit now, but you can't beat that like sweat equator, old Greg Plitt saying. So anyway, this is what we've got post-workout. So, inside here, we have got 200 grams of cereal, 100 grams of the infamous white chocolate Cocoa Pops, 100 grams of these lovely chocolatey Cheerios. When I bought these, I thought they'd be very much like Wheatos, but they're actually not. So they are a little bit different, and they're very nice actually. Very pleased with those. So for the protein, we've got Reflex Instant Whey Pro as always. Inside this lovely little shaker, I've put about 150 ml of unsweetened almond milk in there to make it taste a lot better, and then I'll top it up with water because obviously I don't want to use this much almond milk because I'd be going through these things like no tomorrow. So I'll just do a bit of almond milk and then top it up with water, and honestly it tastes sweet. And then obviously I've got this. So very big portion of carbohydrates. This is my go-to after training, and this is just absolutely magnificent. I mean, it's what I dream of this stuff when I'm dieting. So to be able to smash this now, oh, love it. So yeah, I'm about to crush this. And then we're down to the final meal, which I will show you in a bit. So here we go, back in the kitchen once again, getting dinner all prepared. So what we've got here is, so for dinners, if you follow me on Instagram and maybe on my website, you'll know we do pretty cool dinners. I've had this book, Jamie Oliver's, this is really good, and like the Joe Wicks ones, and I've made, and using them, I've ended up making like really good recipes. Obviously like the Joe Wicks ones, they're supposed to be, well they are healthy, but they're not always so macro friendly. That's why you get so much shit online. So what I've done is I've kind of took a lot of recipes from these kind of books and I'll put like a macro friendly twist on them. So if you haven't seen them, go on my website, check them out. But anyway, I'm going off topic. This is what we've got for dinner tonight, and it's going to be pretty epic. So as you can see, it's like a garlic mushroom pasta, but obviously we're going to add some meat to this, and I'm adding some broccoli as well for some extra veg. So in here, I'm cooking for 2 of us, but I'm going to tell you the portions in just one. So I've got 175 gram of chicken in there, which gives me 40 grams of protein. I've got 15 grams of cheese here, which is the absolute dog's best cheese going. Got pasta, just plain white pasta, nothing fancy. You don't need to use brown. Button mushrooms, some half fat creme fraiche. Use this in a lot of recipes. Make sure you get the half fat one and just be careful of portions. And obviously we use the Fry Light spray. Lots of salt and pepper, some good quality salt. And I've just started using this, which is epic. Instead of having to use your garlic cubes, and obviously garlic's delicious, so you get these ones, and I don't know if you can see inside, but it's basically just ready chopped garlic and it stays proper fresh. Absolutely epic. So yeah, this is what we're having for dinner. I've got 100 grams of pasta in here for me. So yeah, it's a really well balanced meal. It's going to look absolutely epic. I've got the broccoli already steaming on here. I always like to steam my broccoli. So yeah, I'll show you what the final thing looks like. So this is the final result. I've got my one and Amelia's one, and this looks pretty epic. Added the broccoli, added the chicken. This is the last meal of the day, and all we've got after this is just a couple of snacks, so I'm going to get this done. Final meal of the day, and this is what the numbers are topping off at. 500 gram of carbs, 81 gram of fat, and 220 grams of protein. So we've got 3 chocolate rice cakes. I'll break these into little bits and just nibble those, which is pretty delicious. These are the Snacker Jack ones, and then I have a Galaxy Ripple, really good tasty chocolate bar, 175 calories, so a really good one to have. I do have something like this every single night without fail. It's exactly what I have, it's all tracked, it's all accounted for. It's a very small percentage of my calories which I have every single day and enjoy. As you can see throughout the day, I get a lot of vegetables, all that good stuff in. So I wanted to keep this video short and sweet. That is my full day of eating on a training day for my bulk. So yeah, we're looking at like 3,500 calories, quite a lot of carbohydrates, and at the moment, just for a little update, my weight is the highest it's been for a very long time again, but it's slowly creeping up, and the goal was 190, but I actually think we might be able to push it to 195, so very good off season heading up. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching.